Artificial intelligence algorithms are one of the most incredible things that human beings have created so far. I mean, they enable us to do amazing things, like become anyone we want to be. Like Robert De Niro, for instance, a famous actor I've always admired. Taxi, The Godfather, classics, right? Or Brad Pitt. He played some really interesting roles. Fight Club, Benjamin Button, oh, and Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I just watched that one. And this face, I mean, who wouldn't want to be Brad Pitt for a day? Of course, there's Joe Rogan. So yeah, AI and digital algorithms are really cool. But there's something else about these big tech algorithms that's far more sinister. If you're an internet business owner, big tech companies like Facebook use algorithms to filter your content so that even the people that asked to see your content don't get to. And if you're running ads on their platform, these algorithms are currently driving your ad costs through the roof, which if you're an internet business owner really sucks. And in case you haven't noticed, Google has officially forgotten their rule about don't be evil. I mean, check out this chart. In a nutshell, what it amounts to is Google is now scraping everyone's website and stealing their content so they can put it at the top of the Google search result page. That way, they never leave the walled-in garden of Google and actually go to the website of the person who actually created the content itself. I guess Google's logic is, who cares about all the time and energy that website owners put into the content on their sites? Let's just take their content and use it for our site. And of course, if you're an internet business in e-commerce, then I don't even have to tell you about AI and algorithms because you deal with them every day. Because Amazon has the most powerful AI going. They know what everyone is going to buy next before they even do. And you know they control over half of the entire e-commerce market. So you don't have a choice but to answer to them if you have any kind of physical product to offer. And speaking of not having a choice, recently I realized that I didn't have a choice either. And that's why I decided to call on my friends to form the Coalition to Save Internet Business, the source of the latest and most accurate strategies to help you win. It's time for all of us to join forces, share the latest winning strategies, and fight big tech in this war that they're waging against us. Click through now, and I'll see you on the other side.
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, everyone. Let me know if you can hear me. That was a promo video that we used about a year ago. And when I say we used, I mean we created, but we never released because of Agora Legal, which was one of the precipitating events that led me to eventually buy the business back. Kind of sucked having to do multiple edits of that over and over and over again. And also that they even had problems like with that graph, even though that was from the New York Times, and the New York Times didn't get sued. So I don't think we would have been either. But nonetheless, my name is Rich Schefren. We're going to talk about membership sites, the mistakes people make, and selling subscriptions. And yeah, I'm Rich Schefren. I've been doing this for like 20 plus years. I have coached many of the big names in online marketing today, and also have helped some of the biggest companies add billions of dollars to their bottom line. And so I do these live streams every Tuesday and Thursday. Tuesdays like today from 2 to 4 p.m. Eastern, and Thursdays 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern. And let's see, as always, we're broadcasting on YouTube. So if you're watching this on YouTube, please comment, give a thumbs up. And if you're not a subscriber to our channel, please do subscribe. And if you're watching on Facebook, thumbs up, emote, comment, and also join our Facebook group, which is Strategic Profits is the name of the group. And if you're watching, well, you wouldn't be watching on Instagram because we're not broadcasting on Instagram, but you can follow me on Instagram at The Real Rich Schefren, which is kind of funny because there is another Rich Schefren, even though no one owns that name because that name is trademarked. But nonetheless, the person doesn't look like me. It's a overweight black woman who has decided that her name is Rich Schefren too. So I am therefore the real Rich Schefren. I have a birth certificate to prove it. Yeah, let me know where you're watching from. If you're watching on LinkedIn, please connect with me. And if you're watching on Periscope, time to get onto one of the other platforms. Let's see what else. Yeah, let's try and make this as much of a monologue monologue, as much of a dialogue as opposed to a monologue. And the reason why especially is because I'm here to help you. And in order to help you, let's see what that looks like. In order to help you, I need to know what challenges you have and what you've been struggling with. So, and as always, the more comments there are back and forth, the better that is for the platform. And so that helps me get the word out, which is the whole reason to be doing these in the first place. A lot of people ask me, like, they've been asking me for the last year plus, like, do you have a launch coming up? Like, why are you doing these live streams? And I'm doing these live streams because I care about everyone in the community, and I don't want to see you guys make the same mistakes that I've made or that clients have made. So that's the reason I do these, and to help spread the word about strategic profits. And so, yeah, let's make this as much of a dialogue as possible. And last but not least, please share. Whenever you share, it helps us tremendously. And if you share, put hashtag shared in the chat so I can thank you personally. You will be my hero for today. And with that, let's check in with who's here. And let me also, before I check in with who's here, give you a reason for having this discussion today about membership sites. You know, Steal Our Winners is a membership site, if that isn't obvious to most of you. And we are in the process of doing quite a big undertaking as far as a new platform and a new way of serving content that has not been seen yet in the industry. I can't talk too much about that yet because we're going to do a big reveal. But what I wanted to do in advance of that was to really kind of make a study of the best practices out there regarding membership sites and selling subscriptions. And so I started that just today by basically downloading everything I could get my hands on. Well, actually, that's not true. I started yesterday. I downloaded a bunch of stuff to get my hands on yesterday, and I've been going through the notes of everything I downloaded today in Evernote. In addition to that, I also read the Forever Transaction, which is a book about membership sites, the Membership Guy's book on membership sites. I am reading right now The Automatic Customer, and I'm also going through Nicholas Kuzmich's course on membership sites. So I'm doing all those things to extract out valuable information to share with you guys, in addition to everything that I already know about selling subscriptions, which is more than most since I did help Agora grow and therefore know a lot about selling subscriptions from Agora. So with that said, let's check in with who's here. And so if you're watching and you haven't yet said hello and where you're watching from, please do. It will help me. And also it'll let me know that you exist. And don't we all want to be acknowledged? Wolf, what up, man? I sent you a message in Telegram, I think. It's time for us to set up that call and then also set up the Steal Our Winners interview. Wolf is a media buying genius, and I can't wait to interview him. Gwur Gowan. Fantastic. Free this evening and such a needed subject. Very curious to see what comes swimming up into his conversation from Rich. I'll try to be simple, Rich, in my writing here. Honor to you. Well, thanks, Gwur. The mathematics guru, Jonathan Crabtree. Thank you for this topic. You're welcome. Hey, Rich. Hey, Facebook user. If you want us to know who you are, you have to go to StreamYard.com/Facebook. Hello, Rich. Hope you are having an extremely well and profitable week. I am. And in fact, I got an amazing night's sleep last night. So I feel fantastic. Good. Cool. Wow. I guess that's to the video. Very cool. Audio and sound are perfect. Thanks, Wolf. Brian here from Port St. Lucie. I love the face changes. Yeah, what's interesting to me, and it still kind of freaks me out a little bit. Obviously, I do not look like Brad Pitt or Robert De Niro or any of these people. But when I see the picture of me as Joe Rogan, it goes back and forth in my head. Like I see me, then I see Joe Rogan, I see me, I see. So it's kind of weird. I don't have that with anyone else. Getting stuff through Agora Legal was always an ordeal back when I was there. Yeah, and it only got worse. And it's one thing to edit. I just want people to understand this. It's one thing to edit a sales letter, right? It's a whole nother thing to bring legal a 3-minute video, them have 2 problems with it, they tell you to edit those out and you're all good. And then you edit those out and then you bring it back. And then they have other edited issues that they want you to do that have nothing to do with those sections, and doing that 5 times and not realizing that every time we take anything out of a video, the whole video has to be rescored and everything else. So like ridiculous amounts of work in between. So yeah, it even sucks more for video. I can assure you of that. Hello from Macau, Las Vegas of the East. Very cool way of describing it. Duran from Switzerland. Good to see you, Duran. And Jason, I assume, from Tampa. Good to see you, Jason. And Renan in Brazil. Thanks for the wonderful comments you made in the group to the new members, Renan. And Melbourne, Australia is where the mathematics guru Jonathan lives. Ann Arbor, Michigan. Hey, Ia. Is that how I pronounce it? Ia? Is that the right way? And Sean McCool in Austin, Texas, the famed copywriter. Michelle, you are my hero. And thank you for sharing. And Renan, thank you for sharing. Adam from New York. Hey, Adam Weber. And James in San Diego. I'll be out there pretty soon, actually. I was just on the phone with a friend of mine, Felicia Pagesh, who lives in San Diego. And I'm going to be out at the Justin Goff Stefan Georgi Copy Accelerator at the end of August, beginning of September, and I agreed to speak at the Mimosa Mastermind the day before Traffic and Conversion. And so there's like about 10 days in between, and I'm wondering if I'm going to fly back here to Florida or if I'm going to go like do a trip and see all my friends in LA and San Diego. I'm thinking more the latter than the former at this point. John Warlow, Automatic Customer, was one of the first to write about the subscription-based economy. Burlingame. I guess it's Burlingame. I don't know what that is. Hey, Rich from Indiana. Hey, Mark. And Tommy from Vistrato. Maritime Training. That's cool. Ireland here. Good to see you, Don. Howdy, Rich. Yuvalim, Israel here. Very cool, Shmaya. And I think Wolf is always in a different place, but he's from Israel. This is totally a subject to take notes on. Thank you, Ryan. Since Ryan is sitting right to my left, he doesn't have to be watching to take notes. You look like Humphrey Bogart, but handsomer. No, really. Who agrees with me? He has that intense look. Yeah, well, thank you, I guess, Square, for the compliment. But intense is something that I get all the time. And I don't really understand that. I was actually asking Amber Spears about that the other day. Like, I don't know what it is that I do that makes people think intense. But that is a adjective that I have heard countless times. Hey, Rich from Champaign, Illinois. Deep into subscriptions, memberships, and platforms for the past several years. Probably have other resources around this subscription you want to see as well. That would be awesome, Ron. Ron, if there are like things that you think were over the top wonderful, I'd be very interested in knowing what they are. And either you can put them here in the chat, or if it's too lengthy, then message me. Hello from Austin. Hello, David. And hello from Russia. How would I pronounce your name? I can't read that. Schefren? I don't know if that's even remotely close. Abel. Rich, I'm watching from Chicago area, and I wonder what you think about gamification to encourage interaction with content. I think it's incredibly important and incredibly useful, but I think that ideally, right, the rewards and the prizes and the badges all kind of support the outcome that your membership site is for. And, one of the people that was an influence of mine early on was a woman by the name of Kathy Sierra. And I have no idea what she's doing these days. And I never knew her. I just was influenced by her work. And, but when Gary Vaynerchuk invited me to go down to South by Southwest with him, the reason I said yes was that Kathy Sierra was speaking. And Kathy Sierra, I think, like, she's rather inactive these days, but maybe she's not. But she wrote a book called Help Users Kick Ass or something like that. And it's all about what recognize that it's not about making your site, your subscription kick ass. It's about helping the people who subscribe or become members to kick ass. And that what ultimately gets people to refer is not their love for you, but their love for their friends and the benefit that you made in their life, they would like to see for their friend's life. It's a totally other way of kind of looking at it, but it's more how the real world operates. So, very early on in a conversation about any kind of extended relationship is what's the outcome that your users want, and how do you assist them in every which way to be awesome at getting that? But we'll have a lot more to say about that. Hello, Rich. Been a while since seeing you. Silvana from London. Hello, Silvana. Corey Wright. Tuning in early this time. Yeah. Hello from Austin. Cool. Hello, Sergi. Burlingame is just south of San Francisco, California. Oh, cool. Didn't know that. Learn something every day. Hello from Los Angeles. A meetup would be fun. I didn't even think about that, but that would be cool. Inbox me. Are you talking to me? Not sure if you are. Totally agree. Have that SOG look, speaking from experience. What's SOG? No. Students of the game? What is SOG? Is students of the game? Really timely discussion. We have to make a decision regarding subscriptions from ship company and ports. Cool. Hello from the mean streets of Baltimore. Oh, I wonder if that's an Agora employee. Are you an Agora employee? Who knows, right? All right. So, yeah. So I would say, I don't know where to start this. So I'd actually love you guys to throw some questions my way. I mean, I certainly can talk about like the ideal acquisition tool for memberships, what that needs to look like. I can talk about onboarding and what you need to think about. And ultimately, any other questions that you have. Special operations group. I have that look of a special operations group. Well, I guess that's very nice. Rich, can you recommend some cool books about membership marketing? Well, I'll show you actually while we're talking here. I will show you the books that if I can, the books that I'm reading. Let's see here if I can. There we go. Cool. And I'd say that, let's see, I'm just opening this up and hopefully this works. Should, as long as it's connected, and it is connected to, oh, let's pause that because we don't want that. And I want to go to my books. And then I want to go voice stream. And then let's see here. So these are the books that I'm looking at right now as it relates to membership site, books on membership sites. So you see on the upper left is something that was written by, oh, I forget who wrote that again. Sean DeSouza, then Badass, Making Users Awesome, Kathy Sierra, Practical Business Continuity Management. Haven't even looked at that yet. Started reading this, but this is about how to like market a private club. I thought I might get answers from there, like more like golf clubs and things like that. And let's see. Yeah, Member Machine is written by the membership guys. Just finished that. Haven't read Oversubscribed. How to Sell a Subscription. I have not read. Automatic Customer I'm reading right now. Subscribed I'm reading right now. The Forever Transaction I read. And then below is the Membership Economy. So those are the books that I've put in there so far that I'm quickly racing through. I mean, I'm good for like a book a day. So, you know, if there was a reason to read more in a day, I would, but it's enough. So those are the books I'm reading on it, but I've also been reading a bunch of information on different websites. My old right-hand guy, Dan Karen, I was reading some of his stuff that is on a site called MemberMouse. And so MemberMouse has a lot of good stuff about memberships. And therefore, I've been reading a lot there as well. It is a compliment, makes you interesting because your look is so present, which makes us think we are important to you, makes us know that our complete attention is worth it. Well, thank you, Gwar. But the flip side of that, Gwar, is that a lot of people are intimidated by me. And so that doesn't help at all. And then also, I don't know if you guys have ever used, forget the name of the site. I can tell it to you. Hold on. No, it's not there. Okay. It's called, let's see, what is it called? Photo Feeler. Have you ever heard of Photo Feeler? So Photo Feeler, like you could post a picture and you can say it's for dating, for business, for something else. And yeah, the business ones I always get back are intense, which is kind of funny. All right, let's see. Okay, Rich, how much content do you need to start a membership? Well, it all depends on what kind of membership program you're really creating, right? For example, when someone buys Steal Our Winners, right, they only get the current edition, and then the following month they'll get the next edition, right? So we really don't need any backlog in order to sell Steal Our Winners. Now, when we sell Lifetime, then they get the whole back catalog. But if we didn't have that, then we wouldn't, or we would just sell that like we did in the beginning at a discounted rate. And just for those of you who are Steal Our Winners subscribers, I just want to tell you, one, thank you. And two, if you're not a Lifetime member, I just would strongly, even though it's counter to my best interest, it's your best interest to be a Lifetime member. I can assure you that the price is going to continue to go up. I don't know if our next price increase is going to go to $1,500 or $2,000, but Lifetime will either go to $1,500 or $2,000. And it's not going to stop there. Like, I imagine that at some point, Lifetime could be $5,000, right? Or $6,000, and or even more. And I just believe that getting a Lifetime so that you don't have to experience any of those price increases and kind of stay you've got that handled is something that people should consider. So, but Jason, to answer your question directly, it really depends on how you structure the membership. And ideally, right, you don't want to have a lot to start. And you might even think about like starting a membership, possibly even on Facebook, so you don't have any of the expenses of even setting up a membership site in the beginning, just to kind of get a sense before you transition. But if it's a subscription-based kind of product, right, which at the continuity is the umbrella, you could say, membership, subscription, etc. These are all like underneath it. But whether it's a subscription is similar to membership, right? Because we're charging monthly for material. And I would say that you'd probably be best off, Jason, in the beginning, thinking of it more as a subscription and less of a membership until things prove out. Watching from small town in Georgia. Hey, Christy. And Sean DeSosa is a good friend of mine. Terrific original ideas of marketing. Yeah, he's a great guy. I reached out to him like about 2 years ago. But yeah, I don't even know what he's doing these days. Rich, what's your thoughts on ever increased noise on all industries? Is it a time to build existing tools better, or time to separate from the noise and build unique approaches? Zach, I would say that I don't see how like build existing tools better, right, like kind of relates to increased noise. What I would say, though, is that I think that increased noise, increased clutter, marketing pollution, advertising pollution are all very real and will continue to just become more of a nuisance and more of an obstacle in effectiveness. I think that as it relates to you as an entrepreneur, right? It's about recognizing that nothing good happens there and should never be the going to social media, hanging out, like that kind of stuff should never be the default option for things to do. You know, you should go there when you're wanting to go there. And I know for myself that I spend too much time on YouTube these days. I need to cut it back. I don't really want to go to zero. So I'm trying to figure out like the best way to do that. But I think that when it comes to your prospects, clients, customers, etc., I think the more that you can buffer the noise, the better, right? That's why building out a membership platform, while it should never be the thing you start with, is really a goal in the progression of building a scalable subscription-based or membership site. And so I would say that for me, as I think about Steal Our Winners, I'm thinking about that to the nth degree. I'm thinking about the fact that attention is the scarcest commodity online, both for customers, clients, prospects, members, and for you and I. And so it's not only about making things as easy and as fast as possible, but it's also about recognizing how can you make them getting the outcome more certain and with the least number of steps or in the quickest amount of time possible, right? That at the end of the day, people join a membership or subscribe to something because it has an answer to a problem or a solution, right? And your goal is to help your members, subscribers, what have you, get to that outcome in the fastest amount of time with the least amount of steps, with the least amount of frustration and overwhelm, and designing your membership to provide that is what will often take more time having to think that through. But I do think that bringing someone into a platform where more and more things happen, right? Creating your own ecosystem gives you a lot of flexibility. Of course, you have to be able to get people to keep returning back. And then that opens another door of exploration of how do we do that, right? But where to find that book list? I can just, we'll take a picture of it, this book list, and I will post it to the Facebook group, Brian. Photo Feeler? Yeah, Photo Feeler is a website that you can upload pictures to and then get anonymous people's feedback about your photos, right? So, like, I will show you one. I'll show you three, actually. Why not? I'll be embarrassed a little bit because one is me topless, but whatever. Share screen. No. Window, Chrome tab. There we go. My test. Share. All right. So right now you're looking at this, right? So this was like I've used this picture 100 times, right? So it's ranking me based on however many people saw it, 86 people, right? Like 6.2 competency, likable 5.1, influential 7.5, right? Versus this one, which is a 6.6 competence, 5.7 likable, 7.4 influential. When I go to this, right, shows me what the ranges are, and then also shows me, I think they seem a bit arrogant in this photo. Great photo, right? I think they seem a bit intense in this photo. Seems a little melodramatic and forced, right? Seems a bit intense, right? Blah, 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 blah. And then like in this one, right? Let's see, notes. Great smile. I think they seem a bit intense in this photo. I think they seem a bit uncomfortable in this photo. Would prefer if they were smiling more, would prefer if they're smiling a bit less. Photo seems professional to me. It isn't. It was just a regular Polaroid, whatever. It was just actually me and another person. I cut that other person out. And then I figured for shits and giggles, I'd see like on the dating side what it would look like, even though I'm happy in my relationship with Kim. And this I did better. I would date them. Great photo. I would date them. Cool. So anyway, just a cool site to check out on the check out the stats of like your photos and get feedback from other people who don't know you when you're thinking about including a photo of yourself or something, right? So pretty cool. Rich, I tried to join SOW for you in advance, yet your form broke. Then contact customer service, John. It would suck for you to get boxed out of whatever it is you got boxed out of, because the price is going to go up across the board, even for annual as well. The thing that we don't know that we should be asking about because we don't know how to do it right. Yeah, well, as you think about why you don't have a membership site now or subscription-based product, and when you think about that, why don't you have it now? And that will be the source of your questions. Rich, do you know David Cancel Drift Insider? And if yes, is he any good? No, I don't know him at all, so can't comment. Please forgive me. My name is Gabrielle. Okay, Gabrielle. How fast do the promise of results need to be for the subscriber? For example, the promise of a 4-year degree is a good job. Yeah, I think very few people can get away with a 4-year promise. So yeah, but like your goal, I'll tell you what I'm thinking about, and what I'm thinking about, like what I talked to my team about today, like, and I'm not sweaty, but Jesus, am I shiny? You'd think like I just went for a run or something. Anyway, what I want to do is incentivize. Let me get rid of this. I want to bribe as much as humanly possible people when they first join Steal Our Winners to get a positive result. So let me take a step back, because this is a strategy that I end up sharing with a lot of people, because it's something that most people don't think about, and yet can really like move the needle quite a bit in your business. So as many of you know, whenever I created a program, the first time I did it, I taught it live. And I taught it live because I can't be trusted to create a program in a vacuum. That's part of it, at least. The other reason is that I would actually write a report that would kind of give people the perspective that I needed them to have, so that then when I released the sales letter or whatever for the actual product, which generally was like a month or two later, people would already see the benefit of the thing that I was offering. And, you know, that was an effective strategy. And part of the reason it's so effective to do the first time live is, one, you can get lots of feedback. Two, you can kind of alter the program as needed, you know, in that marketing phase. But last but not least, like what I used to do was incentivize. I didn't do this for BGS because it was too early and I didn't know this tactic, but did it in some of the later ones, where like for GPS every week we had a contest for the best case study. So basically I incentivized people getting as much done as I was teaching and using what I was teaching to help get an outcome. And that you could submit a case study. I don't remember if it was Friday or Sunday night at midnight or whatever, but then the next day or two, we would announce the winner. It was a 7-week course. And when we announced the winner on, let's say, Monday night or Tuesday morning, we then flew that winner on Thursday down to our office, Thursday night. Friday morning, like I would have breakfast with them. They'd then come on for the live stream part of the teaching that I was doing daily to this group. And then the rest of the day, my team would help them grow their business. My whole team would be working on their business. And because of that, every week, we got lots of case studies. When we were done, right, 7 weeks later, not only did I have the course done because I had just taught it all, but I had a great amount of case studies that then helped me sell the program version of this coaching program indefinitely. So along those lines, right, like kind of think about that. What I want to do is I want to incentivize the crap out of getting an outcome, a positive outcome, an improvement in their business within the first 30 days or first 20 days or first 17 days or 15 days or whatnot. And then getting that success story back, right? Like if we can incentivize people dramatically to immediately engage and use one of the strategies and they get the outcome, what we do are two things. One, we have someone who just got an outcome, likelihood of staying engaged and doing more, much higher. And two, imagine a sales letter or any kind of vehicle selling a program where you have a ridiculous number of people that talk about, like, within the first 2 weeks of joining, this happened. Within the first 3 weeks, this happened. Within the first month, within the first week, like, it definitely sets up a much higher level of expectancy, which therefore triggers more dopamine, which gets people to act with more impulsivity and movement forward, for lack of a better way of describing it. Let me know if that makes sense. But like, I find that that type of thinking is the type of thinking that ideally you need to do as it relates to, what it is you offer and to whom you're offering it, why they should buy it, why should they pay you continuously, and what are the benefits that they're going to get. Hey, Rich, for e-commerce physical store, how can we encourage membership? What steps should we take? Well, I would say, and it depends on what kind of products you're selling, Rajen, but I would say that, when it comes to, like, my friend Ryan Ballo, who is Cortex Labs, it took me forever to push him to do auto shipping. And like, auto shipping, right? He's selling e-commerce. So I'm not sure what type of e-commerce you're selling, because that's kind of relevant. But he's selling e-commerce, and what you want to do in at least supplements and health is get people onto auto ship, which is a subscription, not a membership, but it's continuity income. And if it's not something that people would consistently buy, that's more of a challenge. And then you got to think of other benefits that might be more relevant to buyers from your niche of your type of product than what, like, Amazon or someone else could do. Regards from Switzerland. Cool. What do you think about paid communities with common interest in a business activity? I think they do really well if you get the right power players in it, right? So a great kind of version of that that I'm aware of is AdLeaks, right? AdLeaks is a Facebook community. You pay $97 a month to be a member of AdLeaks, and it's just a Facebook group. They've also now included like a package of other people's products in it. But $97 a month for AdLeaks, and it's a Facebook group dedicated to media buying, and it has a lot of heavy hitters in it. And because there are a lot of heavy hitters in it, lots of other people join, and it works really well. So something to think about. There's a bunch of groups that have been forming. Well, this is not a new model by any stretch of the imagination. I'm always surprised when people pull this off, to be honest. It seems like a smart idea. I just wouldn't know how to go about doing it myself. So while I have respect for people like Tim Bird, who have created these big groups that, generate a couple $100,000 a month in passive income, but I don't know necessarily how best to do it. I've never done it. Yeah, it is a very interesting tool. Thank you. My AV is the third one. Real present owns his presence. Well, thank you, Fave. Cool. Will someone post a link to sign up, please? What, a link to sign up for what? Huh. Could be for the Steal Our Winners group. Sign up for what? I just jumped on. Maybe I can help. Hello from Colombia. Could someone please tell me the name of the software R used in the beginning to change his face? There was no software on that. I have other ones that allow, like, I have software that will allow you to do that, but that was done professionally, and it was done like a year and a half ago. The one that I used when I'm messing around, like with friends, is a iOS app called Reface. That's the one I use. That's a really smart idea to incentivize the customer story. Yeah, I mean, look, you would think people want the outcome enough. They've paid for something that should warrant like that they're going to do it. But we all know that 90% of the people that buy a book never finish reading it. It's not different for us. And if you really want people to get a great outcome, your reputation, while not totally based on the outcomes people get, is certainly somewhat based on the outcomes that they get. And why then leave that to chance? Why not actually put into process things that you can do to make their outcomes better? And the way I described it to my team, like a long time ago, when we were talking about stuff like this, I said to them, look, I will be happy with what we're doing when we work as hard to get someone the result than we worked to sell them. Because I know how hard we work to sell people. If we can maintain that same level of commitment to helping them get the result as we did in getting us the result of the sale, then I think we're solid. And unfortunately, for most people online and in the space, that is not necessarily their thinking. Cool. Are you doing those case studies, Rich? What case studies? Oh, you mean for the Steal Our Winners? Not yet, but that's the plan. Yeah, that is certainly the plan. Home decor product. Well, so with home decor, right, are there certain things that people buy with greater frequency that you could kind of put them on continuity? I don't know if there are things like that, but I imagine that it is totally doable. They have like memberships and subscription packages for almost everything these days, everything from toothbrushes to razors to clothing, etc. So I imagine that it could be done. I'm just not sure in home decor what's most popular. Hey, Teresa Delgado. It has been a long time. I hope you're doing well in upstate New York. Ivan, sorry. Hi, Rich. What is the best favorite marketing tactics that are working better now? Ivan, I have a whole product dedicated to that. It's called Steal Our Winners. And every month, it's 8 tactics that are currently crushing it that the world does not know about. I just did a extremely useful and amazing interview with Amber Spears, and she talked about the action she took to take The Truth About Cancer, which was a docuseries that did somewhere in the ballpark of around $700,000. And when she ran it, like it did 9 million or something close to that. And what was the difference between selling the same product? What was the difference between the two? And really powerful. It was actually, I'm really looking forward to a lot of people watching that. But Ivan, it would be unfair of me to start rolling out like tons of different strategies that we just shared with Steal Our Winners subscribers, and just share them freely. I need to report this video. I'm concerned about it dropping too many knowledge bombs. Very funny, Cam. Hey, Rich, I have a coaching subscription, but has 3 levels, 47, 97, 147, with some additional features at each level. Do you think I should simplify and only offer 1 level or continue to offer 3 levels? Well, Kevin, what I would say is that really depends on the take rate of those 3 and what are you providing and what's different. But in general, I don't think you need those 3. But if you have people spread out, like where do you think most of the people with whatever you canceled would go? And, when you have 3 price points like that, to me, it screams to me like at the very least, you should have one of those should be a decoy. So you're pushing people into the expensive one. So there has to be there has to be a big difference between the 47 and 97. And as far as like, you get so much less at 47, right? But then, so it's worth going to 97, but the difference between 97 and 147 should be even bigger. So it becomes like a no-brainer. But tell me what the take rate is and I might have a better answer for you. Hi, Rich. What do you think about online Taekwondo memberships with certification program? Well, I would imagine that you'd have to have people come in at some point, right, to pass belt tests, unless you were just having them do katas. But so one of the best jiu-jitsu fighters, Marcelo Garcia, has he had a his training facility in Manhattan was right across the street from my apartment. He's moved to Hawaii since, but he had, so the way jujitsu is often taught is you just keep showing up. Like there isn't necessarily like a syllabus and each lesson you're covering a different thing. You're just there and you pick stuff up. Right. And that's because like there isn't a program that starts with a specific day and ends. It's ongoing. All right. So, but Marcelo Garcia got together with Josh Waitzkin. Josh Waitzkin wrote the book, The Art of Learning, and In Search of Bobby Fischer was about him. He's the guy that rose to the very top of the ranks in chess and then did it again in Tai Chi. And so he created the e-learning platform for Marcel. And I don't have any of the details except to know that it was doing well enough that Marcelo could close his school in New York and move full-time down to Hawaii. So I assume it's doing well. Having been someone that hasn't really ever bought any like martial arts training video stuff, haven't ever gone down that road to that extent. I think it's possible, but I would imagine you'll hit snags and you'll have to overcome those snags. And I'm not sure what snags you'll hit because I'm not sure what those snags will be. I mean, I would imagine that for a lot of karate schools, a big part of their business are kids after school, which is like almost, what's the temperature? Lower this temperature? After school, and that you would not have the benefit of in your online. And so that is something to think about. Like if that's a primary part of the revenue of a karate school, then how are you going to make up for that? And that would be a concern, Sarah. Oh, my lifetime program. Okay, cool. Yeah, we'll send you a link. What things when building a membership should you avoid? Red flags that would cause unsubscribes. Well, the mistake of more content would be problematic, right? It's not about just having a ridiculous amount of content. A ridiculous amount of content actually seems overwhelming. I would say that, yeah, I would say too much content is a big mistake. I would also say that probably the biggest mistake when it comes to memberships is and subscriptions is selling to a customer who has a one-time event and you're thinking you have a forever transaction. There are so many things, right? Like I wouldn't want to join a membership site on getting divorced, right? Because you get divorced. You know what? Can I just have it so I can look at it? You get divorced and then it's done, right? So let's see here. I'm just making it a little bit colder in here. So hold on. And then there. All right. And then just make sure that we're on cold. I think that's cold. Yeah, that's cold. All right. So definitely confusing, like whether something should be a subscription or membership site, right? Like take a look at Steal Our Winners here, just because I think, I put a lot of the thought into Steal Our Winners. So what we're delivering each month is timely, right? I think there has to be an element of that. It's not a course. There is no end. It's an ongoing membership site or subscription. And that because there is always late breaking information, it makes sense to have a continuity program, whether it's membership or subscription, around that, right? If it's in an area where things don't change that much, it becomes much more complicated, right? It becomes much more complicated because you will run out of material. And that has to be kind of thought through at the very beginning, because the worst place you want to be is get the membership really high and then be losing people because you've got nothing to deliver. So I would say that really kind of making sure that your type of information, what you're providing or whatever it is that this is a membership of, is something that can be supported either by new stuff constantly coming out, services needed to be used, but something, right? Great to be here again. Thanks for all the value from South Africa. Great to see you, Gunther. All right, where is Gunther? There he is. Those are the trial details, though. He wants the lifetime. Whoop. So you got to find that one. Hey, this must be Lisa from Miami. So you're going to find that for him and send it to him? Okay. Thanks for sharing the name of the media buying group. Am I spelling it right? Ad Leaks. I think it's Leaks. Dan Kennedy says a certain percent of people will always buy the more expensive option because of who they are or who they perceive themselves to be. So if you're not offering a more expensive option, you're definitely leaving money on the table. Yes, of course. But that's where bumps come in. That's where upsells come in. That doesn't necessarily mean that you just charge people more. And even with Dan Kennedy, he will say the value has to be commensurate with it. Like, yeah, you can charge more and you should charge more, but you better also give more value or it goes upside down. Rich, I heard you say on the last Facebook Live that Maxwell Finn and another agency had to reject new clients since they felt those companies were not in a position to scale. Is there a way to ask or find out what things a company must have in order to be in a position to scale campaigns? Yeah, I said that Maxwell Finn and Kurt Molly both told me that 75, and Keith Krantz, I think, more than 75% of the people that come to them thinking that they're ready to scale and give them money, they turn away because they're not ready to scale. So you're not ready to scale if you don't know what your customer value is. You're not ready to scale if you don't know what your cost per acquisition is. Those two numbers are incredibly important, right? The cost to acquire a customer better be less than lifetime value, or you're just going to go bankrupt. And if the cost to acquire is higher than the average order value, right? The average cart value, then you'll also go bankrupt. It'll just take longer unless you have ridiculously deep pockets. And so one of the reasons why people are not ready to scale is they don't really know the lifetime value or the expected value of new customers. They're not really sure the cost to acquire a customer. So that's problematic right there. Then if those are handled, then in general, the offer is weak. There's not enough upsells, things like that. So really, like, you should be able to know your metrics and also be around break even or better, or a little less, but very close in that ballpark for these type of people to help you. Home Decor could do a candle subscription. Yep, they could. Good answer, Sean. Rich, do you think something like how to reupholster furniture or automobiles would be a good membership program? It's kind of a dying trade, so really unsure. I definitely think, well, when you say or automobiles, is that reupholstering automobiles? That to me sounds more like a course than a membership site. Because there's a skill, you get it, and then you move on. But I could be wrong on that. It wouldn't be I'd be surprised if something like that worked well. I'm thinking about teaching an online dance membership. What do you think? I know you said you don't dance, so thinking how to make it a safe space to learn from the comfort of your home and give successful learning experience for clients. I dig it, Marlon. I know a lot of people are embarrassed by the way they dance, and so being able to do it in private would probably be useful for a lot of the people. I'm not one of those people. I'm a horrible dancer and would be embarrassed like getting on a dance floor, but have no problem embarrassing myself in a dance class. But I do think that that could work. It's all going to depend, though, on how good of a teacher you are at the end of the day and how much fun you make it. There are so many membership kind of subscription type things about exercise and dancing and stuff like that, that it's just a more congested space, but certainly can be done. One time versus forever. You're right. There is a new dating service with a tagline, the app that is meant to be deleted once you find your love. Is that just a statement, Jason, or am I supposed to comment on that? Is there a way to make it a forever transaction? I don't know. I mean, it really are there, since I'm not a dancer, I don't know. I mean, I would imagine there are always new skills to learn. I just wonder if at some point people would want to get in front of others, right? And I might be biased on this, Marlon, but think about Steal Our Winners. As long as if you become a Steal Our Winners member, and maybe you are already, but I'm not talking about you specifically, I'm just talking about people in general, and you have an online business, there is a strong argument to make that we're posting 8 different new strategies a month that, so you will miss on stuff that could grow your business. And the stuff that we gave you 2 years ago will die in its results, in how much results it creates. So there's this ongoing need, right, for what it is we provide. It never fulfills. And I don't know if it's the same case with dancing, because with dancing, someone might get to a point and be like, I'm good here, right? And those dances don't go away like tactics do. So I'm not sure, Marlon. I would look to see who's already doing what it is you're thinking about doing and see how they're doing it. But I imagine that there is. But then the big question is, how do you get your customers? And the easiest way would be to have some kind of social media presence of you dancing, of your students dancing, et cetera. And if you had that, then having a membership would be more of a no-brainer. If you don't have that, it becomes a bigger undertaking, and then that has to be evaluated. Would finding a job be considered a one-time event? I was thinking about doing a membership to help transitioning veterans. I think so. I think it's more of a course than it is a membership. Unless that membership is constantly updating with new job opportunities for veterans, on a daily or at least weekly basis. If there's enough new stuff, then maybe a membership site makes sense. But if it's not new and it's just training, and that training doesn't change, then there would be less of a reason. How much is the user experience in using the member login area? In other words, the choice of platform being used to host the membership subscription. Thanks. I think, Scott, it makes a big difference in the long term. In the short term, it's nothing to overly stress about. I think that long term, you want it to be as frictionless as possible. You want people to like the way it's designed, enjoy being there. But I think you can sell it without any of those things in place. To do more of a minimum viable product to see whether the actual promise of what it is you're doing actually is something that people will spend money on. Then the execution of it can always be improved upon, and will make a difference in the improvement, especially if you use those feature sets to not only make things look better, but to perform better for the outcomes that your customers, clients, members, subscribers want. All right. Got it. Well, time will tell. I gave you my answer, Sarah, so time will tell. But maybe One creative membership program that I've seen recently is a new car wash that opened down the road. They charge $20 a month and you get unlimited car washes. I've never seen that model with a car wash before and thought it was a nice way to extend the life of a customer. Certainly is. A lot of places do it down here, Cam. And, I mean, lots of things have moved to this like membership kind of subscription basis, right? I used to get my hair cut at Kennedy's, which was a franchise that Dan Kennedy was involved with and some other people. And the other people were clients of mine at one point. And, there you pay like $30 a month and you can go in for as many haircuts as you want. Most of the time you're only going in for one, so it doesn't really matter. The car washes have it. The cup, like I used to be a member of this biohacking, two biohacking places in Manhattan, Hacked and Restore. So those were continuity. And obviously Netflix, Hulu, and all of those things. So I think, well, and then also like my Apple phone, right? I'm even part of the Apple payment plan, which means that like you buy this, they break it up into 24 payments with no interest. You pay the first 12 and then you can turn it in. So I'm more of a renter than an owner these days. And I kind of like it. One of the things that Kim and I get into fights about sometimes is that, she feels like there's a lot of stuff to do to take care of the house. And my argument to her is that's why I wanted a condo. I do not want a house. I do not want to have to take care of my pool. I do not want to have to take care of my roof. I do not want to have to take care of my grass or the garbage or any of these things. And so my preference would be to live in a condo, the same price point of this house, but not have any of the ongoing responsibilities. Hey, Hugo in Miami. My pick is not showing today. I thought they meant companies not having the creative necessary or not enough creatives to scale. Who's they? Hugo. How much does the user experience in using member login? Okay, I thought we went over that. I must have skipped. Okay. SOW isn't about a fixed goal. It's a database of ideas, which helps me stay ahead of the online business curve. It taps into the growth and variety needs, which could be applied to other areas. Huh. Paul, tell me more about that. Like, so are you saying that like growth and variety? Yeah, give me an example. Probably be best. That could be a further interaction with the vets who have the jobs coming back to offer, and a new place opens up the company. Or offering jobs that they get to the level of making their own company. Yeah, or networking or stuff like that, sure. Thanks, Rich. Definitely looking to cater to people brand new, newer in the learning of self-consciousness about their dancing ability or lack thereof. Got it. I've been studying the core concept to get better at it, and I wanted to ask you if the core concept could also be seen as a marketing point of view, Hugo. So just for those who don't know, the core concept is the marketing equivalent of a USP. It's something I created like, I don't know, 12 or more years ago. Actually, a lot longer than that. And the gist of it is that you can't assume that most people will see most of your marketing messages. So what's the single one belief that if your prospects believe, the default decision when they take action would be buying your product? And so I've always done that. And the goal is that becomes the core theme of my report. If I'm writing a free report, of my webinar, if I'm doing a webinar, and every email that I send needs to support that core concept, and every blog post, everything needs to support that, right? So for example, the core concept of the Internet Business Manifesto was strategic entrepreneurs succeed, opportunity seekers fail. And right now you're an opportunity seeker. If I can get someone to believe that, right, then the default decision is to join a program that helps turn them from an opportunity seeker into a strategic entrepreneur. Guess what the USP was of BGS, the business growth system, the only program that transforms opportunity seekers into strategic entrepreneurs. So my core concept that opportunity seekers fail, strategic entrepreneurs succeed, right? If I can get someone to believe that and believe that they're an opportunity seeker, then when they decide to take action to do better online, to grow a business online, the only course that will work for them, if I've done my job right, is my coaching program, right? When I wrote the report to sell Theory of Constraints, which I created a course called GPS on that, the core idea, right? The core concept of the report and everything I did is right now, you are not at your full potential, but you're adding more potential. The only way to increase your results is to tap into more of your potential, which means you must find your constraint and eliminate it, right? And then guess what? GPS is the only program that uses the theory of constraints to help entrepreneurs find their constraint, eliminate it, so that their business can immediately level up. Once you have a core concept, right? If all your marketing is reinforcing this one idea, then you are doing effective marketing. In fact, for those of you who read the 16-word sales letter by Evaldo Albuquerque, he, in the original document, he thanked Russell for the one idea, the one belief, because Russell uses that in a sales letter approach. And I said to Evaldo, like, I want to tell people to buy your book, but first you got to change that. I'm the one that taught that to Russell. And he said, well, Russell's going to have to tell me that first. So we called Russell and Russell told him. And so then he changed the book. But that's the core concept. And then to get back to you, Hugo, and that question is, okay, wait, I'm just looking for that question. All right. I don't know what you mean by marketing point of view. If by point of view that leads to the default decision of them buying your product, yes. But since I'm not, like, I don't know what a marketing point of view is. It certainly is a point of view from the marketing lens. So I guess from that standpoint, yes, but I'm not sure that's what you're really asking me. What about pricing? I've been told when it's too cheap, people won't see value, like $9.99 or $40. Is there psychology based around pricing? There's a lot of psychology based around pricing. However, when you start getting into monthly charges, sometimes too high of an expense can be problematic because people will cancel quicker. I would say, Taylor, that it's pretty hard to nail price right out of the gate. So my preference is my preference when doing a coaching program, because it's a coaching program, is to err on the side of more expensive. Because I'm rolling up my sleeves and doing a crap load of work, and there isn't going to be a trial period for my coaching program. But when it comes to a membership site, I have my default goes the other way. I'd rather it be too cheap in the beginning. It's easy to raise the price. That rewards everyone who's locked in at a cheaper price. And also kind of like shows that you're growing and that you're becoming more popular and stuff like that, as opposed to the opposite, which would be lowering the price. So when we first started Steal Our Winners, it was $50 to subscribe for the year, $250 to go to lifetime. We have since gone from $50 a year to $50 a month. And instead of $250 for lifetime, it's now $1,000. The next price point will take it to $97 a month, probably take it to like $500 or $600, probably $600 a year, and probably $2,000 lifetime. And the price will continue to go up from there, but that doesn't mean, Taylor, that we wouldn't have a $1 trial or even a $5 trial at some point, where maybe the trial gets more stuff, or a challenge for $49 that leads into the membership. But when it comes to recurring, my thought is that, and I don't know that this is the best way to look at it, this is just the way I look at it, I'd rather it be less expensive with lots more people in it than more expensive with few people in it. Now, with a coaching program, I'd rather have few people spending more. But in a membership type program, I'd rather have more people in it and charge less, because it's the front door of your business. And ultimately, if you do it right, this becomes the primary acquisition tool. Paul, totally agree on the condo. And Paul Elliott was in that GPS course. Rich, how do you feel about you release content? How do you feel you release content slowly? New members start at level 1 of the content and progress slowly up levels so not to overwhelm them. Well, what I would say is that you don't want to overwhelm people. And you want to be very clear about that, because what you think could be making the membership better could actually be pushing people away, right? Which is a problem. So you certainly can have some of the content hidden, right? Where, like, module 2, it doesn't open up. It just says module 2 and module 3. And then as they get more done in one, other stuff starts opening up. That's one way to do it. It really, like, I think these are individual cases, Jason, like how specifically, but just to be clear, right? Your goal, Jason, is to help someone get to the outcome as quickly and as easily as possible. Hi, Rich. Can I see this again in a replay? Sure, you can. It will be in the YouTube channel, and it will also be in the Strategic Profits group. April Meese, long time no see. I love the core concept idea. Where can we learn more about it? I am pretty sure I posted a 20-minute video and the report in the Facebook group, April. But if I didn't, message me or message Ryan, and we will make sure to put both the video and the report in the group. Trader Rob shared. You rock, Trader Rob. I appreciate you. Thank you. Should I use WhatsApp or Facebook for primary mode of communication with my members? I guess it all depends on what your members are already using, right? I've seen WhatsApp groups, I've seen Telegram groups, but what I would say is that if most of your members are using Facebook, it might be beneficial to stay on Facebook, unless you have issues with Facebook and want to take people off site. I just like, I'm not crazy about, at least in the Telegram ones I'm in, I don't like them because it's just too active, and it's like, it's not, people put links in, I can't find them, etc. Core concept sounds like where Todd Brown got the big idea. No, Todd Brown got the big idea from Agora, and there's a difference between the big idea and the core concept. The difference between the big idea and the core concept is a big idea has to be sexy in and of itself because it's going to lead the sales letter, right? It's going to lead the sales message. The core concept it introduces some kind of mechanism, but it itself doesn't have to be sexy because it's the basis of marketing. It's not that you're going to say that phrase of the core concept every time. You're not at all. You're going to say it in as many different ways as possible, and every message has to tie into that theme. So I would say that if I were to equate it with anything of Todd's, I would call it his funnel thesis. I think that would be the most similar to the core concept. But yeah, I mean, Todd was at Strategic Profits when I developed the core concept. So it wouldn't surprise me if it inspired him when he was creating his concepts. Laughing, Ree, who thought of it first? Well, there's an ego involved. I'm sorry. Yes, totally agree. Would a monthly pricing be better than pay as you go? Have people earn a badge for a price? Monthly pricing is better than pay as you go because pay as you go relies on people to do stuff. And when you know enough about people, you know that most people do not do stuff. And so you don't want to be reliant on people doing stuff to get paid. It's the same reason why that like Kennedy's would charge you monthly what you probably pay for a haircut, because you might go out of town for a week or two and miss an appointment. You might get busy, right? Like, so if they could just get paid like you're getting a haircut every month, then good enough for them, right? And that is better than getting paid when the person comes to get a haircut, because now they have to make a decision to come for you to get paid as opposed to nothing for you to get paid. Hi, Rich. This is Lisa from Miami Beach. Not me earlier. Question. Before COVID, I wanted to start a physical location club that would also offer various products at the location and online. Do you think due to COVID, it's riskier to start a business centered around gatherings looking forward? Lisa, what would this club be though? Is it a fitness club? Is it like, I would assume it's fitness, but I'm just guesstimating, right? And if it is a fitness, like what were you envisioning? Because I think there's still plenty of space for that. I think people are like, I haven't thought about this, so I'm just going to tell you what comes to mind, but it is something I probably will think about at some point. I think that, if you like Robert Postman, I think that's the guy's name, who wrote Bowling Alone, right? Like how technology has really pushed us apart, that it first brought us together, but has since pushed us apart. That, when TVs first came out, like one person in the neighborhood got a TV and people would come over. Then the first person on the block got it and everyone came over. Then you got one in your house and everyone watched television together. Now everyone watches what they want to watch on their own screen at their own time in their own place. That has led to, us not sharing. And when I say us, like everyone in the US or everyone in any other country sharing a narrative, because we're all not watching the same stuff. I think that with COVID, what's happened is that it's forced more people into online stuff. I think it's made people stay home more, obviously, but that works to a point. And what I mean by that is that we know these things are going on. I can also guarantee you, though, that people feel lonely, they feel isolated, and that they want to get out of the house more and want to be around people more. Right now I'm going to this gym F45 with my youngest daughter, Elle, who will be 17 shortly. And for me, just spending time with Elle makes it worthwhile. I would do anything to spend 45 minutes a day with my daughter. So I do that, right? But it's also really nice as opposed to spending 2 or 3 hours in my garage by myself on an elliptical, bored out of my mind. So I believe that even after Elle graduates and goes to college, that I'll probably be going to a gym somewhere just for some additional human interaction. Because without it, I would see almost nobody, or I would just see Ryan over here. And Ryan's a nice guy, but I don't want to base all thoughts of humanity on just how Ryan responds to stuff. So I don't think it's riskier, but it depends on what you're doing, Lisa. I'm so glad Steele, our winners, got Steele, our winners. I'm glad you did too, April, and the new issue is being released in days. Thank you. You're welcome, Taylor. And that's a nice photo, Taylor. I'd rather have 1,000 people pay me $1 a month instead of one person paying me 1,000. It's easier to predict the average revenue per month for me. Certainly is, Cam. If you had a lower price subscription and a higher price coaching membership aimed at startups and more advanced businesses, what's the best way to promote them? At the same time, or have separate activities to attract the right target customers? I would not market them at the same time, Desi. I would market them consecutively, and I would do it both ways. So I would offer my coaching program. For people who didn't take my coaching program, I would offer the low price continuity. This is what we did, right? I had my coaching program, and then I had a low price continuity called Founders Club, where every other month I sent a report, and in between months, Todd wrote a newsletter, Todd Brown. And so when you attended the webinar that we used to sell our coaching program, if you attended the whole thing and didn't buy on the webinar, we followed up with 7 days worth of emails trying to sell it to you. But then after that, like, you've listened to my whole message, so you didn't get off the webinar early, and the webinar was long. It was like 2.5 hours. You got all the emails like on buying it, and you haven't, but you were certainly interested enough to stay on the whole webinar. So maybe you agree with my philosophy, but can't afford the price. So then we would offer this lower priced option, Founders Club, right? We also had a lot of people who bought Founders Club and eventually joined the coaching program because they could see that the content and value that we provided was superior, or what other reasons they had for buying. So we would market Founders Club. And the way we did that, we also did webinars in Founders Club for our clients. And then we would take those webinars and sell them out in the public, like through emails. And people could decide they just want that one webinar for $49, that training, or do they want a month of founders, that training, plus another webinar training, and whatever we're delivering this month in founders, all for $49, and they could decide. And that was the way we would get new people into founders. I would constantly reference the coaching program in founders, and so that's how we had both interwoven into each other. If we couldn't sell them the coaching, we offered them founders. If we offered them founders and they were buying founders, we then ultimately offered them the coaching. Did the BGS course has made perfect sense, changed my whole view, not only on business, but also in my own work as an opera singer, and now how to coach people to efficiency. Glad to hear that. And that's nice to know. Rich, did you post the core concept video on Facebook, but not the report? I think so. Is that possible, Renan, that we posted the video and not the report? You let me know. It's Lisa B. Forgot to say club will be a membership. Online products will have a subscription. But what's the club, Lisa? Like, what are people doing at this club? What's the benefit? Shared. My hero. Thank you. I have only grown my group memberships organically and have not used advertising dollars. Cool. Do you have a program to help learn the marketing model and how to figure out cost per acquisition and lifetime cost for a member? Well, right now, there is no cost per acquisition, right? If you're not spending any money and your group has just grown organically. I'm interviewing some people in the next couple of weeks that I've heard good stuff about, but I haven't talked to them or worked with them. And their company's name is Content and Community. And they grow Facebook groups, but they grow Facebook groups to then be able to sell coaching programs through that membership. I would say that so I'm not sure who has the best stuff on growing your Facebook group, and I assume that's what you're talking to me about. The cost per acquisition, you want to aim for a third of the lifetime value as a starting point, just as a starting point. But Taylor, what is the business? Like why do people join the group and what's the outcome they want? Yes, I've been busy with my kiddos this summer, but catching the replay. Thanks for the clarification. You're welcome. Is annual membership better than monthly membership? It all depends. For selling the business, monthly revenue is best. Your business will be valued at its highest when it's monthly membership, because the people buying it know that everyone is active or they wouldn't spend the money last month. So from that standpoint, that's most appealing. But let's say if on average, the average person only stays in your program for 6 months, then what you would want to do is sell a annual in the 3rd month, 4th month, or 5th month, so you don't lose them in the 6th month, right? So, or upgrade them to get them into annual as soon as possible by sending out some emails. Now, you might have decided to take the more expensive monthly option because you weren't sure about the program and how well we delivered. And that makes total sense if that's what you did. But now that you see this great quality and the great results we're getting you and you're very engaged, you should think about saving money and upgrading to annual. And I would certainly be sending that out a few times in the first couple months. And potentially, if you knew that you lost most people at the 6-month mark, I might even run a special during month 3 or 4, where we'll apply everything you spent so far to an annual membership. So you have a X amount of credit that will expire in X period of days, and as a way of getting more people to upgrade. Also, thoughts on lifetime. You mentioned it, but it's truly something you would recommend if you have hard costs involved. If you have hard costs involved, Taylor, you could still do lifetime, but you might do it a little differently. Like what we did at Agora was, because we're sending lots of stuff in the mail, I think there was a maintenance fee. And the maintenance fee was like $75 a year, or for one periodical, a lot less than that. But that for like a big bundle, it would be $75 a year. So I think that that's a possibility. I know that long term, I would like us to have some kind of ongoing maintenance fee, as small, as little as possible, but maybe it's, maybe it's $19 a year once you're a lifetime member. And the $19 is, one, so that we keep an active credit card of yours on file because, we'd like to sell you other stuff. And two, like this way, we don't have to keep memberships like indefinitely. If someone doesn't pay the $19, send them warning after warning after warning for a couple months, but then their account would go dormant. So definitely like Lifetime, though, from a standpoint that what it allows us to do as far as acquisition, as far as selling goes, it's a really great slack adjuster because, every time you get $1,000 sale, it helps underwrite the cost of all the advertising that you did. In the e-com space, beauty niche, let's say we found the real reason, deeper problem why millions of women wake up every day with hair they don't like, regardless of thousands of hair products available in the market. So in this case, is the deeper problem the core concept, and the USP is a solution to the deeper problem that only our product offers to fix? Possible, Hugo, but like when you describe the problem, the real problem, right? It's all going to depend on how effective you do that and whether or not people see their problems as symptoms of this deeper problem. If so, then you're in. If not, I don't know. Wow, where the hell am I on this? Okay. All right. All right. I saw that. Okay. Rich, do you mind sharing the average timeline of Agora's acquisition cost to break even or profit so we can have an idea of how a successful front end with subscription back end model looks like? All right. Well, I wouldn't say that I'm happy to share the Agora one. I would warn you against doing it this way. But nonetheless, I'll tell it to you. At Agora, our allowable acquisition cost, i.e., the amount we can spend to acquire a customer, is 100% of cart value, right? And 80% of what's expected to be made from that new customer in the first 6 months. So let's say an average guru sells $400, and that would be very high, but $400 on average to every new customer. So say 75% instead of 80%, we'll say that's $300. On a $49 newsletter, the cart value generally will be about $125. So it would be $125 plus the $300, $425 to make that $49 sale. And, which means, right, that if we were really paying $400, then we're losing like $300 a sale. You make 10 sales in a day, you're losing $3,000. You make 100 sales a day, you're losing $30,000. Make 1,000 sales a day, you're losing $300,000 a day, right? And so Agora is fine with you losing $300,000 a day if the metrics work out, because they know at some point it's going to cross the chasm, and then you're going to be making $1 million a day or whatever, right? So that's what it is. It's 80% of expected income or expected earnings from that customer over the next 6 months, plus the full cart value. And those two numbers combined equal the allowable acquisition cost. But as I said, Agora's in the numbers business, and so they're looking for a hit, and when they have the hit, they're looking to scale it to the maximum and then move on to the next one. So it is, it's a model. It's a very effective model. It's not a model for a small business to follow. Also, what's the average cost of acquisition versus lifetime value on info products subscriptions roughly on B2C market like Agora? Well, at Agora, the average lifetime value is around $600 on average, right? So you could say anywhere from 1/2 to 1/3 is what the acquisition cost is. It's so touching how much you love your daughters. I think every dad loves their daughters. Certainly a lot easier to love a daughter than a son. I don't have any sons, but if I had a son and they were remotely like me, then I certainly would love my daughters a lot more. It would be a wellness education, but a place to hang out socially. When you say wellness, Lisa, like, what do you mean wellness? Is it meditation? Is it IV drips? Like, what is it exactly? Hey, Rich, just want to say your patience and sacrifice of time on these calls is an inspiration. Thanks, man. Well, thanks for saying that, Cam. And I appreciate you, and I appreciate the great content you put out and you being here. Thank you, Rich. You're welcome. In the market for a new boat or RV, and notice there is a national shortage and huge demand still. Yep. Would community membership of boating or RV enthusiasts be a good forever product? Well, they have them for cars, right? Like exotic sports cars. The challenge is like, it could be a small group, right? I don't know, like if you want to do it nationally with groups all over the place, but certainly those are passion things. I would imagine you could make something work in those two areas, but I definitely would want to check with people in those markets and what do they consume? What are their challenges? What do they wish they knew more about? Like stuff like that. I see Jay Abraham use that with his membership. You can pay a higher amount for the day workshop or just buy the membership with everything. Yeah, it's just a good way to do it. Cam, you rock. Thank you. Do you have a video course about Agora strategies? I do not. We do have, and it's attached to Lifetime. We do have the Agora Media Buying Boot Camp. In other words, what new media buyers get trained in when they're first hired by Agora is a 12-day boot camp, and that is free in Steal Our Winners. I guess membership is the real future. Air is in Germany during the lockdown. Everyone's buying groceries. People were subscribing for it to be delivered to their doors. It's stupid not to take it seriously. Oh, no doubt. Like, I mean, look at what, like, every big company in the world is moving towards this. We're moving to a renter's economy, not an owner's economy. There are negatives associated with ownership because then you have to take care of things. And there are more and more. Look, if I could rent a new laptop from Apple every year and a half instead of having to buy them and then buy the next one and buy the next one, I would do that in a heartbeat. And I imagine there's a lot of other people that would too. Hi, Rich. Greetings from Peru. Thank you for sharing all your knowledge. Well, you're welcome. Do you have a video course about? I answered that. Okay. I've seen a crackdown saying lifetime membership in your sales copy. And I've also seen many sell a year membership with an annual renewal of X dollars. You've seen a crackdown saying lifetime membership in your sales copy? That's interesting. Well, I don't think that selling it as lifetime is that beneficial. We'd be better off, in my opinion, selling a 5-year membership because 5 years is concrete. Lifetime is not. You can't do math on a lifetime subscription, but you certainly can on a 5-year subscription. So I think that at some point, yeah, lifetime will price itself out and we'll have a multi-year offer, and that will be at the price points of what lifetime was. But the world's a big place, and I know that there will be plenty of people that we will be able to sell in the future. And so if people buy lifetime now, it's totally cool. But I don't think it, like, lifetime doesn't win you any points over 10 years or 5 years. I can assure you that. I tested between monthly and annual membership, and they both had the same acquisition cost. So I killed the monthly one and now work only with annual. I like that, Paulo. What I would say is that you might want to do retargeting, and for the people that don't buy, retarget those people, right, to the monthly price as something to think about. Well, I'm sure I do some things right with my daughters and other things not so right. I don't think anyone's perfect. I was thinking about making a site where people receive packages of random objects they would like. I want to use it as a lead magnet for a future lifelong product. Am I overthinking this? I don't think so. I mean, that's how most of the like subscription boxes work. And lots of people are already doing it, Trader Rob. Is that what you're talking about? Uh, iOS 15 and email marketing, man. We can beat at an IRR loss. I don't know what you're asking me, Abu. Thanks, Rich. I'm so glad I joined Steal Our Winners. I'm glad you did too, Sarah. It makes sense to make a bundle, membership plus video course, financial tip, or better to sell separate. I think it's better to sell separate, but to offer a bundle so that you up the average transaction. What I meant by marketing point of view is something that I read in Play Bigger book, and it sounded to me pretty close to the core concept, so I wasn't sure how to compare it or look at it. I could use it to complement the core concept, or if it was different, that's why I asked you. Can you just write down Play Bigger and market point of view? I'll take a look at that, Hugo. I don't know the reference, but I am interested. So definitely we'll take a look at that. I wish I could read this. Can you translate? Can someone translate? Would love to know what that means. Thanks so much, Paulo, for sharing that info. What have been the best sales letters of Agora? Thank you for the knowledge. The best newsletter promo we ever did of all time is The End of America. And that was the letter that I got thanked for from Bill Bonner, because it was the first Agora promo, big promo that used a VSL, and we knocked it out of the water. It was probably $1 billion promotion when it was all said and done. What's the best strategy to attract people to a membership? Hi, Evie. I don't think we've met before. The best strategy to attract people to a membership is to sell a premium, right? So we've talked about this, but I don't think you might not have heard this before. So why Agora sells newsletters as its front end, and for those that don't know, Agora is about a $2 billion business. Just sells information. I've been working with them since they were a little bit more than $100 million business. We just sold off a part of the business just the other day for $3 billion. And my mentor is one of the founders, Mark Ford. And so that's Agora, right? And so Agora is a $2 billion a year info publishing business, and 95% of the client acquisition is done through selling newsletters. So people are subscribing for a year. And the reason why it's the ideal front end for them is that it's selling a longer term relationship, right? It's going to last a year. That means over the course of the year, Agora will probably put like 50 back end promos in front of that buyer, which will increase the chances that they buy something on the back end that increases their value. Also, and this is probably what I like most about newsletters, it's very hard to, and it'd be the same with a membership site if it's ongoing new stuff all the time. It's very hard to tell people what's going to be in the next issue or the next issue or the next issue. You don't know. So the way that newsletters are sold is by selling the premium, the bonus, right? So the whole first half of the sales letter is about the premium that then transitions into the newsletter when it tells them, I want to give this to you for free when you subscribe, and now the rest is to the newsletter, right? Now, the beauty of that is that while the copy can remain very standard about the membership, the copy would change dramatically based on the premium. In fact, since at Agora, the copywriter determines the premium, because the copywriter will determine the premium based on the big idea of what the sales letter is about. It allows for 20 different copywriters to be working on promos for that same product all at the same time, and they all will be different. And it also lets you tap into whatever's hot in the moment in your market, because you can create a premium around that and then make that the premium for the buying of your product, right? So that is my favorite way. I think it is the best strategy because it allows you to be very agile. And timeliness in marketing is incredibly important. The things that have done the best for me have been things that were just well timed. And so when you have an element that you can incorporate into your strategy that allows you to be able to hop on hot items of the moment, you greatly, dramatically increase your chances of finding a hit promo. So hopefully that helps, Evie. Exactly. Congratulations. Well, thank you. I'm not sure on what. Why Agora uses often VSL and not often webinar. They do webinars. Fernando Cruz does a lot of webinars at Legacy. Look, I brought them to VSL in 2006. I brought them the automated webinar in 2007. They've been very slow to get on it. What can I say? Our membership is open at all times, Evie, and you can. I know further up there was a link to a $1 trial that you're more than welcome to test out. I would say that our platform is dramatically changing, and the experience will be 10 times better. But the content is not changing. It is a very accurate reflection of what we're delivering now and going forward. Yeah, there'll be a link that Ryan just put in. iOS 15 is going to hit email marketing since Agora has big email lists and have lots of revenue coming from it. How is Agora to handle email marketing problems coming from iOS 15? Email marketing problems. I don't know that there will be email marketing problems from iOS 15. There's going to be retargeting and issues like that. But I just did a Steal Our Winner segment like a month and a half ago or 2 months ago with Fernando Cruz, who I think is the best marketer at Agora. And he was showing us how he gets a 50% open rate on lists of 980,000. So yeah, I don't think we're not worried about that. Wow. How personalized should the membership be? As personalized as you can make it while still scalable. For a membership high ticket, do you think it's better to offer free trial or refund? Alessandro, for a high ticket membership, and I don't know what you consider high ticket, but if it's like coaching and that's what you're thinking of, I would say that I wouldn't do a free trial, because a free trial, like if you don't even get their credit card, like it just becomes so much harder. I would say that I would give them some period of time to maybe get a refund. That would be if like everything's not opened up from day one and stuff like that. So a refund is probably better. A free trial, I wouldn't go down that road. Hi, I'm not far away from you in Aventura, Florida. Very cool, Evie. Well, nice to meet you. Translation, thanking Emma for her info re Germany that we should think of tapping into that market. I'm in Italy, but not in Germany. I have a ex-girlfriend in Germany who has been texting me recently. Maybe I could convince her to do strategic profits, but I doubt that. Why Agora only sell newsletters and not courses? For that reason, Alessio, that a newsletter is an ongoing relationship and it's selling people what they want, which is the premium of like how to make money right now. And then the newsletter gives time to bond with the guru. I love newsletters. I want to get better at writing them. When is your membership available? The old membership is available right now, and we'll probably be picking the new members for the new platform, which we'll do a beta test of from there. But so just sign up for $1. Gorgalen was talking to me in Dutch in Germany. He is saying he will go in this direction with his own product. Obviously, he will build his own mentorship program. Very cool. Play bigger, Al Ramadan. Cool. I might have read that. think I did read that. Awesome. Thanks. You're welcome. I don't know if there's a best way to do it, but on my lifetime memberships, I only offer them certain times a year. My average subscriber stays for 8 months. So I just round up to the cost of a year of my club, and I charge that for lifetime access. But I usually only do it certain times, like a 4-day sale or something. That makes sense. Last question today, promise, LOL. I have an automation management and business management agency I would like to sell. Is there a way to incorporate the success of my members into that valuation? Only from the standpoint of having more effective marketing and advertising, which would then grow the business, which would then make it worth more. Well, if you go to strategicprofits.com, Evie, and then it's like hidden. Don't ask me why. You'll see there's a 1, 2, and 3. Click on number 3. And it will take you to Steal Our Winners. Golden Nuggets as always. Thanks, Scott. Do you think that to sell a $2,000 membership, it's essential to have a low ticket membership? No, it's not essential. Might make things easier depending on how you do it, but not essential at all. There's the link to the lifetime offer. And if you want the $1 trial, I told you where to go. VSL doesn't use email. You use Facebook retargeting? No, we use email to send to people who've opted in, but we use Facebook, where we use retargeting in general to move people back to a VSL they didn't finish. What's a hot supplement offer that's working really well at Agora that you can share? The supplement business has been kind of toned down a little bit, primarily because of some challenges with the FTC. I would say better off looking at Golden Hippo. And one of the things that is selling really well right now is dog food, believe it or not. But the way Golden Hippo does it, which is top expert in the field. So it's Oprah's vet and everyone else's vet who is designed this dog food that's absolutely ideal. What's the best-selling products membership? What's the best-selling products membership you know? Well, I hope it will be Steal Our Winners one day, but it's not yet. Where is that sign up for the $1 offer? Hold on. Did you? She's asking them. Okay. And do you teach how to write sales letters? I love newsletters. Is that part of the membership? Where is that start for $1 deal? So, Evie, just to be clear of what Steal Our Winners is, each month we deliver 8 strategies or tactics that are currently crushing it that the world doesn't know about. So someone asked me the other day, if I'm brand new, should I join Steal Our Winners? And I said, well, that really depends, because it depends if you know whether you're going to be in this long term or not, and also what you need. So let's say that you wanted to do an automated webinar for your business. You are not going to learn how to do an automated webinar for your business, from Steal Our Winners. Once you have it, you need a course for that. Once you've taken that one course and you have an automated webinar, to make it better, if it's not doing as well as you'd like, or even if it is doing well and you want to do it better, that's where Steal Our Winners comes in. Because what we're going to do is we're going to deliver to you like the best strategies that are currently working to make your webinars more successful. And we're going to do it with the best people in the industry about webinars. When it comes to copy, we're going to talk to the best copywriters about offer creation or things that specific elements. Because there's a time in every marketer's life where they grow up and they stop buying courses. Courses are very necessary for what they are, but they're not like, I don't buy courses anymore. It's hard enough for me to go through a book because like I've read so many, I've been doing this so long that like I'm going to come across so much stuff I already know just to get to the few ideas I don't know. And with courses, it's even worse, right? So I just want to make sure, Evie, you know what it is. You're not going to learn like in a course type of environment. These are, each episode stands on its own. There's about 150 of them at this point, but that you'd have to buy lifetime. But this is a perfect time to join because you'll have like 2 days access right now or 3 days access to the old material, and then you'll be a member when the new material comes. So you'll get like kind of double, which is kind of cool. Yeah, we deliver like it's 45 minutes to an hour, these chunks. Do you teach how to write sales? Yeah, okay, yeah. We did that already. Let's see. Curious where in Italia, but that's private, of course. My guy is from Siena. Great cook, even greater sounding engineer, one of the founders of National Italian. He's creating a course also. We have strategicprofits.it, which is the domain for Italy. Who is killing it at subscription supplement offer that your advice to go and funnel hack and study? Trying to think. Well, On It does really well, but I think it does really well because of Joe Rogan and not because I don't think they're great at marketing, actually. There are certain names I can't share because they're clients and I don't necessarily want to put them on blast. Look at Golden Hippo. Find their offers. Miriam Ferrari, what's an offer from Agora Financial if you can share who is working well? Thank you so much. Well, Agora Financial. So Agora Financial has been kind of split apart into smaller divisions, but Agora is not the same as Agora Financial. Agora Financial was one of the divisions inside of Agora, but there's Legacy, there's Oxford Club, there's Money Maps, there's Banyan Hill, there's a lot. Probably the people that are kicking the most amount of ass at Agora is Legacy. And so Legacy Research, any of their sales letters or webinars, you would be well worth studying. About Steal Our Winners. Is it possible to make the notes section downloadable or make it able to copy from the site? Wow. Okay. Huh. That's interesting. I didn't know that can't be done. So right now the note, like the action guide, cannot be downloaded. No, I didn't know that. Well, there's no reason why that shouldn't be downloadable. No, we should also just have it as a link to download. Totally sorry about that. I was not aware. I hadn't thought about that. But yeah, you should have access to download it. So we will change that. What membership platform is best for selling in local currency via geolocation? Podomatic is a worldwide replacement for teachers of arithmetic. Jonathan, what I would say is that in the beginning, you're better off just focusing in on the English-speaking countries and leave the other countries for people maybe who want a license from you. I mean, the way I do it is everything in the English language I own, or when I was partners with Agora that we owned, but I also owned everything in all the other foreign languages because I have like a Japanese licensee, an Italian licensee, et cetera. And the way we protect them is by language because, we can't if someone happens to be Japanese, but they live in the United States and they speak English, they're buying my stuff. And so only if they want it in Japanese do they need to buy it from my licensee. What do you think about requiring an application prior to membership? One of your contributors last month had 45-minute form before you could sign up for his membership. Yeah, well, if it's a more expensive membership, Jason, that makes sense. Could you tell me who it was and what it was for? I closed my beauty marketing membership last year because it's such a low price. I couldn't get people to take advantage of the done for you social media captions and graphics, let alone training, and therefore it was preventing them from joining my back-end signature program. I might have needed to change my marketing or the membership, but I just decided to focus on the high ticket program. Look, there are plenty of people that sell high ticket only and they make it work, April. So if you can make it work, cool. Super Read, the IT version of Strategic Profits, will sign up as affiliates and take off. Many who would profit so beautifully from your knowledge and presentations. Fantastico. Cool. Rich has connections, relationship, and experience that allows him to interview such one-of-a-kind guests and get that up. Yeah. Well, and the goal is to increasing our reach, which I don't think is a problem. Thanks for getting me all the links and answering all my questions. Although I look young, I have been around for a little bit. I used to do teleseminars. Oh, I used to do teleseminars. I appreciate your feedback. Thanks. Let me know if you ever come by the Aventura Mall or if you come by to see Grant Cardone because I'm 5 minutes away. I don't think I'll be heading down there anytime soon to see Grant Cardone, but I do head down to Miami quite often. So just send me a message and we will exchange numbers. After I launch my supplement offer on ClickBank, how does one go about getting an affiliate effectively to get them on board? Well, the beauty of using ClickBank is that they have a ridiculous number of them, and that would be more use best practices as it relates to ClickBank. Thank you. That would be very helpful. Yes, we will start that next week. Where's the affiliate link? The affiliate link for what? Hey, Raquel, how's blood taking? So would Steal Our Winners help with copywriting for me to use on my clients' work? I am writing sales pages currently. It would help for sure. It would also help you understand like all the mechanics of how we make, like how marketing works in a way that, you know, some copywriters understand, most don't. You know, it's not a program specifically designed for what you're asking me. So there probably would be something better out there. But when it comes to marketing, I don't think there is anything better. I used to think I was a veteran entrepreneur marketer. Coming here, I quickly realized I was still new just for a really long time. Thanks for breaking me through. My pleasure, my friend. So I didn't even really get to any of the notes, which is kind of shocking, and we're out of time. So on Thursday, I am going to share a lot more of the notes that I've been reviewing and books I've been reading as it relates to membership. What we talked about, though, and one thing I do want to point out that I'm very proud of, and I think that, like, if there was one thing that if you did would make a huge difference for your membership or subscription, would be like, can you create a membership where the deliverables to members, right? The deliverables to members could be used to acquire new members to the membership. That was my whole thought process as it related to Steal Our Winners, right? My belief is that about at least half of each month's segments we could use as a premium to sell Steal Our Winners. And so Matt has hired a bunch of copywriters and they're working that out. And we will be testing that relatively soon. And then the other thing is I going to find out tomorrow from Matt about I want to create a book funnel for this, right? For the book that like getting everything you can out of all that's hot online, Jay and me, with a bunch of the Steal Our Winners contributions in there. So I think it's a no-brainer. So anyway, so I answered your question, so I'm happy I did that. And I will have plenty to share with you on Thursday as it relates to growing a membership site, things you need to have in place. I've read some great articles recently. I just need to kind of connect the dots in my head. So I will, and I will see you Thursday from 6 to 8. The name of the company is Strategic Profits. Please join our Facebook group or follow us on YouTube or connect with me on LinkedIn. And until Thursday, to higher profits and beyond, Rich Schefren, over and out.